All right, time for the traditional first words in a stream. Am I live? I think I am. Okay, yeah. WolfeyVGC, or at least his mods, are hosting a little community tournament for the subscribers. I missed the last one, but it looked like a lot of fun. I watched other people stream it, but I double booked myself. Anyway, this time the format is Regulation F. So all Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet minus restricteds, except only Pokemon that can learn high horsepower are legal. They don't have to know high horsepower, but they have to be able to learn it, or else they are banned. The team. So I looked at the list of legal Pokemon, which again is everything except restricteds, hi Robbie, that can learn high horsepower. And I am going against the crowd here, and I will say I didn't practice at all for this tournament. I barely made time to assemble my team in game. I just threw together a team and then built it. So my thoughts on the format are untested, except to the extent that other people tested them and I read their Discord messages. I looked at the list of legal Pokemon and I thought Orthworm looked super turbo broken. That is not the popular opinion. I'm against the crowd, and the crowd have actually tested things, so there's an excellent chance that I'm wrong. The discussion in Wolf's Discord seemed to be people thought Orthworm would be good, and then they quickly found that it wasn't. But I thought Orthworm looked super Omega broken, because this format is almost all physical attackers. And a lot of ground type coverage, unsurprisingly, because it's everything learns high horsepower. So Iron Defense, Body Press, Orthworm looked incredible to me. I did realize later Chestnut is probably a better Iron Defense Body Presser in this format, and that's probably part of why people are down on Orthworm. But three answers to that. One, Orthworm's a funny guy. Two, I happened to have a random shiny Orthworm sitting in my game that I hadn't done anything else with up to this point. And three, Orthworm does at least have better typing before Terra, so it's probably less of a Terra hog than Chestnut, at least. There's that going for it, especially with Earth Eater, getting rid of the ground weakness. Anyway, there's my Orthworm. And then for the rest of the team, I mostly built out very obvious intuitive stuff. I knew I wanted Rillaboom to pair with Orthworm, because Rillaboom is one of the best Pokemon in this format, and because Fake Out and Snarl... No. Yes, Snarl, but I meant Fake Out and Grassy Surge are both good supports for Iron Defense, Body Press, Orthworm. Snarl's good as well. It helps to check the few special attackers in the format. It was actually the last change I made to my team just last night. I dropped a U-turn for Snarl. Then Blood Moon Ursaluna is just one of the best Pokemon in this format, hitting extremely hard with special attacks when not much does that. It likes having its speed control options, so I have Gliscor and Farigiraf. I have a bit of a different Gliscor from what a lot of people are running. I've seen mostly Covert Cloak, Dual Wing Beat, but I thought Grassy Terrain is going to be on the field like all the time in these games, and Acrobatics is a more consistent attack than Dual Wing Beat if I can get the Grassy Seed activated, which I think a lot of the time I probably can. Untested, but we'll see. And then I have Earthquake, not so much for damage, when there's going to be a lot of Grassy Terrain, but because it can heal Earthworm. Or that's the theory anyway. And otherwise, it's pretty standard stuff. I copied people's homework. Like, I didn't come up with Terra Steel on Gliscor myself. I saw someone else had it in a paste, and I thought through the interactions and thought, yeah, that actually does seem pretty good. Did not come up with that one myself. And Tauros is pure copying other people's homework. I was looking at Conkeldurr in this slot. I thought Conkeldurr might be very good with an Iron Fist set. Like Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Ice Punch, Knockoff has a lot of coverage into this format. And the problems were, I ended up kind of feeling like Conkeldurr might need too many things to go right. Because almost everyone will be running Farigiraf, not Robbie apparently, but almost everyone. So there goes your, I have Armor Tail, right? Yeah, okay. So there goes your Mach Punch. Otherwise, you probably need Trick Room up with Conkeldurr, which is not going to be doable all the time. Or else Conkeldurr kind of gets blown up by things. And with 4 attacks Iron Fist, I probably want the Assault Vest, but then that takes that item away from Rillaboom. So at first I thought Conkeldurr looked amazing, then I thought it looked kind of bad. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but it seems like the quote-unquote standard team for this format uses Tauros as the fighting type, and I do like that on paper as well. It gives me Intimidate, and it gives me an offensive threat into Blood Moon or Ursaluna, so I think that's beyond just my Rillaboom. So I think that's reasonable. Blood Moon or Ursaluna is pretty scary. If I don't Terrasilize Orthworm, I actually take a Blood Moon okay, but it's still very powerful. So that's the team, and I'll find out whether Orthworm is really broken. Or the crowd is wise on this one. I think it might just be that they found that Chestnut is probably better for the same role. Anyway, should be about time to start. I think they were saying about 7 rounds of Swiss, most likely, and then top 8 cut. I don't know what I'm eating today. I mean, the obvious answer is between rounds, but I don't have much food, so I'll have to figure that one out as well. I didn't think about their team sheet being on limit. I need to get another monitor. I could do that by now. This channel can have a little bit of a budget for a second monitor, because I'm just gonna have to go back and forth right now to see their team sheet. Okay, but I get the basic idea. Orthworm is heavily pressured to Terra, and it's still kind of afraid of Glastrier, but otherwise it's pretty strong here. I think I lead Orthworm for sure. They have clear amulet on anything? No. Yes, they're Tauros. But that means it's not on Glastrier, so intimidating Glastrier is pretty strong. I think Orthworm Tauros might be reasonable. Honestly, my Rillaboom's not great here because they have Blazeberry, Tauros, Glastrier, and Slitherwing all threatening it. I probably will want Terrain. They might set it for me. Gliscor is going to be super afraid of Glastrier if I have to Terra the Orthworm. I'm leaning... What am I leaning? Ursaluna... Well, I have to make a decision. I'll bring Ursaluna Farigra after this game, but I don't know. This is where not playing any practice games at all in this format starts to burn me. Okay, Slitherwing and Farigiraf. So, Slitherwing is Choice Scarf with Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Leech Life, and U-Turn. I think I do want to just Terra... I mean, I'm getting an Intimidate here, but I think I probably want to just Terra the Orthworm immediately. I mean, that's where all the signs are pointing in this game anyway. I probably don't want to keep Tauros on the field. It's Terra and Iron Defense. I mean, getting big damage into Giraffe might be good. Definitely sort of limits their options later, so I could just trade Tauros for that, but maybe I'd rather preserve the Intimidate into Glastrier. I guess I could sort of mid-ground switch to my Farigiraf. They're probably not locking into Leech Life here. They could U-turn out, but yeah, I think switching to my Farigiraf is a little bit safer. I guess Gliscor would have been nice to have in this position, but I didn't bring it. Maybe game 2. Look at that worm. Excuse me, horse. Look at that horse. Everything in this tournament is a horse. It's the horse tournament. They did just close combat into Orthworm. Okay, good. Trick Room. Alright. I might not mind reversing that, but I think for now I'll just go for a Hyper Voice, get my Throat Spray, get damage into stuff. Two Giraffes facing off, and then a couple of strange guys, that's for sure. Okay, who's coming in? Rillaboom. That's good. I want Terrain up, and I didn't bring my own. They do get their Grassy Seed. I don't think that's a big deal. Okay, it's pretty standard Assault Vest Rillaboom. Oh, Imprison. I missed that in their team sheet. But they don't have Hyper Voice, so... They also don't have Psychic. They have Psychic Noise for their only attack, but this does mean that I can't reverse their Trick Room. That said, they're not accomplishing a lot with it so far. I think I'm good to go for +6 on Orthworm, and just Hyper Voice again. Okay, Psychic Noise. Orthworm not getting any recovery is annoying. That did some chip. It did. That did more. What's Rillaboom going for? Orthworm's at +6 defense now. Okay, it's just U-turn into Farigiraf. That did a lot. And who's coming in? Glastrier? It is Glastrier. Okay. So that's a threat to take out my Giraffe before I get another Hyper Voice. I think I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice anyway. I mean, I don't have Protect on Farigiraf. The Glastrier's Terra type is Dragon, so I'm fine to Body Press it. It's not Terra Ghost. I have Terra Blast on Orthworm to cover opposing Terra Ghosts, but of course I'm not boosting its attack, so it's not going to do much to anything. But at least it gives me something to click. There's the Terra. What's it going to be? It's Dragon Glastrier or whatever Farigiraf is, but it is Dragon Glastrier, so no need to worry about that right now. I'm curious. Let's get this question out of my brain. Fairy Farigiraf. There's the Throat Chop. Yeah, that just doesn't do much into +6 defense. They let me get all 3 Iron defenses. Psychic Noise will do more. Oh, that did a lot, actually. But I get 2 KOs here, I think. Well, we'll see what this does to Glastrier. It is +6, though. Yeah, 2 KOs. And I don't have to worry about being heal blocked anymore. So that's good, I guess. And I get rid of their Giraffe, so they can't set Trick Room again. Although, that might not be actually the best thing for my Blood Moon Ursaluna in the back. I was good for Tauros, though. I still have to beat the Rillaboom. They might have actually set that up to be difficult for me. Slitherwing and Rillaboom. Trick Room's still up, I think. This is the last turn. Okay, well, it's Scarf Slitherwing. They can't protect it from the Psychic. I'm going to protect Orthworm here. And just Psychic Slitherwing. That KO's perfect. And I should be able to beat Rillaboom with 4 Pokemon now. And I think the heal block will wear off here. Okay, good, it does. The heal block was kind of annoying, but just wasn't quite enough. Trick Room ends, so Rillaboom will have the speed advantage now, but I think I should be fine to just Body Press and Psychic. It didn't actually matter which attack Giraffe clicked there, but... Alright, that's game 1. That went pretty smoothly. So Farigiraf is very good here. Blood Moon Ursaluna was a little bit suspect for my last Pokemon. I think I might prefer to bring Gliscor instead of Ursaluna in game 2. So like Orthworm, Tauros, Farigiraf, Gliscor? Or maybe I lead Orthworm, Farigiraf this time? I don't know, what adjustment do I think they'll make, I guess is the question. How do they remove a Giraffe quickly? The Scarf Slitherwing. So it's probably for the best that I still get the Intimidate lead and don't have Giraffe on the field immediately. I'll bring Gliscor in the back. And if this doesn't work out, there's still game 3. Sandy Shocks and Slitherwing, okay. Fair enough. What's the Terra type on Sandy Shocks? Bug. I think I do want to just attack with Tauros this time. The Farigiraf switching is pretty predictable after I did it last game. Right? Photosynthesis boosting speed makes sense as their speed control mon, fast version. Let's do this with Orthworm again. I don't think there's much of a threat into it, and well, if they're boosting speed, then just sending a Wave Crash probably doesn't work so well, right? But you know what? I'm down to find out. Oh, I could have just switched to Gliscor here. I should have done that. That was silly of me. Tunnel visioned into just attacking this time. Gliscor actually comes in completely safely on the Sandy Shocks. And it's not like Slitherwing is threatening it a whole lot either. Okay, they're going for the Sunny Day, so they're boosting Slitherwing's attack with that. They're also weakening my Wave Crash. All the more reason that wasn't the right play. U-turn into Tauros because they thought they'd catch the Giraffe coming back in. Yeah, Gliscor would have been even better there, but at least they'll get some damage. So maybe, you know what, this play actually does work out marginally better, I guess. So they brought their fast mode this time. There might not be the Glastrier stuff in the back. There could be. There's a Giraffe. That did some damage. Okay, +2 defense. I think we just keep going. Gliscor still comes in pretty freely on this Sandy Shocks, so let's just do that. Yeah, this will hit Orthworm. It's fine. It did some damage, but not a huge amount. The Psychic Noise is more annoying because of the heal block. That did a lot. And I'm guessing I can't heal my Orthworm with Earthquake while it's heal blocked. Heal block is pretty effective at stopping like every kind of healing. It's actually unfortunate here that I don't have my Rillaboom because I would like to power up my Acrobatics, but let's just Earthquake anyway. Oh, they could switch to if they switch to their Rillaboom here, well then I can click Acrobatics after that. Yeah, Sandy Shocks. Okay, they didn't switch, so I get rid of Sandy Shocks here. It's still just clicking Electro Web to try to damage Orthworm while it's heal blocked. I get my full Earthquake damage. Takes out the Shocks. Doesn't do a ton to the Giraffe, but okay. Psychic Noise into Orthworm, I assume. Yep. Can just keep up the heal block now, though, which is a problem. Here's Slitherwing. Like, they can just bring the heal block right back. I still don't know their last Pokemon. I'm feeling a little bit pressured to switch Orthworm out, but I don't especially want to give up the defense boost. I'm going to try a Body Press into Farigiraf. I think Orthworm survives long enough to get that off. Oh, and if I can Earthquake here, that'll make Orthworm a little bit comfier. Let's do that. I should be able to get the Earthquake. They haven't used their Terra yet, right? It's Terra Fire, Flare Blitz, Slitherwing, in Sun. Okay, maybe that just wipes out my Gliscor. Or my Orthworm. But Orthworm at least is at +4 defense, but it is pretty low. But yeah, let's see what this does. The Earthquake looked great here if I can execute it. Flare Blitz into Orthworm. Doesn't KO, but I think Psychic Noise will. Unless... that probably takes me out of Psychic Noise range. And I get rid of Slitherwing. They made it weak to ground, so that's nice. Crit the Farigiraf. Honestly, didn't notice just from the damage. What's their last Pokemon? Oh, the Psychic Noise goes into Gliscor. Okay, so Orthworm gets some... it crits, that's fine. Orthworm gets some leftovers here. And I get rid of the Farigiraf, so only their last Pokemon remains. The one that's still not revealed. I'd love it to be Rillaboom. Glastrier. Okay. That's probably fine. Is it worth protecting? If they get up a Chilling Neigh or a Sword Stance, I'll just Body Press and Earthquake. Not +4 defense. Probably not too scared unless they set up a Sword Stance, and I think setting up a Sword Stance is too slow for them anyway. I don't know what the speed interaction is between Orthworm and Glastrier because I took at least one speed drop. I think it was only one. But it's not like this Orthworm is invested in speed. But Glastrier will be as slow as possible, so probably still faster. I don't know Orthworm's speed, to be honest. I didn't worry about it. Okay, I'm faster. GG's to this opponent. That is a super fun team. There we go. The Worm looks pretty strong so far. And I'm glad Earthquake paid off. I thought that idea might have been a little silly. But yeah, it was good for me in this set at least. GG's. Weakness Policy Colossal. Terrifier. Makes sense. Cantonian Tauros with Surf. Okay, so that's how they activate the Colossal. Wow, they also have Sunny Day and Helping Hand on Tauros. This Tauros is just like a pure support for Colossal. That's so fun. How do I beat this? Wait, I might actually be kind of weak to Colossal. That's another thing I was thinking about when I decided to use Aqua Breed Tauros, but into Sunny Day Cantonian Tauros? I don't know. Terra Ghost on the Tauros too, so I can't just close combat it. Wow, they've Camera-upped. And they have Slitherwing, so it's another Sun team, but this Sun team might actually be scarier for me than the last one. Let me ask if they have a code. Oh, they asked me first. How do link codes work? This is not the right name on Limitless. I said I'm too small to be stream sniped, but I hope that's true. I'm gonna ask. Because their name on Limitless, including their screen name that they entered, is not last. But people do that all the time in Limitless tournaments. It drives me crazy, honestly. People will... There's a field for your in-game name, and people will just put whatever in there, and then it doesn't actually match their in-game name for the tournament. Yeah, okay, my opponent confirms that is what happened here. I don't know what people are doing with that, but okay. I feel like I was close to figuring out a lead. Ursaluna and Trick Room doesn't go that crazy because I have the camera up. Oh, man. My Ursaluna is very fast as well. I'm running like max speed Tauros. I think Tauros is probably the answer. Tauros and something that can threaten Farigiraf. So if I lead like Tauros, Ursaluna, then I can just... Okay, actually... Then I can just, like... try to nuke a Colossal lead with Tauros. And just double into Farigiraf if they lead with that. I can also intimidate most of their stuff. Well, all of their stuff, but it matters into most of it. I think this is the best lead I'm coming up with right now, and it took me a while. Thank you, Limitless, for showing team sheets early. And then the Terrifier Rillaboom might not be too bad here. And I'm thinking probably Farigiraf. I don't think Orthworm is very good in this matchup. They have so much special fire-type damage. It's really scary. So I think it's Gliscor or Farigiraf. I'll try Gliscor for game 1. Alright, we're finally here. Farigiraf, Slitherwing. Okay. Slitherwing has a clear amulet, so I can't intimidate it, actually. Flare Blitz, close combat, Sunny Day, U-turn, Terrifier. I could Terra my Ursaluna. I think if I see Farigiraf lead, I want to just double it, so they can't set up for a camera up to Trick Room game plan. What's the Terra type on Farigiraf? Flying. Okay. So this leaves me a little bit open to the Slitherwing. It's a very aggressive use of my Terra. But yeah, we're just going to send it, at least for game 1, and see what that gets us. It means I can't Terra Rillaboom later, which I might really want to, so I very much can be punished for this, but let's see. And also, if they just like rip a Flare Blitz with Slitherwing, then the Terra doesn't really benefit me. But it benefits me a lot into close combat. No Terra from them. Oh, I could have Hyper Voiced there. I guess it was a little overkill to throw my 2 pest attacks pretty much at the Farigiraf. Could have gotten damage on Slitherwing as well. Slitherwing hasn't moved yet. I am running a pretty fast Ursaluna, but it's gotta be slow Slitherwing. Boosting its attack, which makes sense. Yeah. They got the sun up. No Tauros Colossal this game, probably, unless they have those in the back, but that would be really awkward for them. There's their Rillaboom, okay. I'm gonna go Gliscor here. Their Slitherwing is so slow. It would be nice to be able to Blood Moon it. I could either protect and do that next turn, or I could just Hyper Voice here. What's their Rillaboom set? Life Orb. It has knockoff. Alright, let's protect Ursaluna this turn. Try to get Gliscor in. Stream looks a little bit laggy. Don't know what that's about. At least it looks that way for me right now. Hopefully it won't break. I'll get my Grassy Seed. Now I can click Acrobatics into stuff if Gliscor gets the chance to do that. Protecting here so I can get my Blood Moon back. What was I planning to do with it? I guess Blood Moon into either of these is pretty good. Okay, they Wood Hammer. That just knocks out Gliscor with a crit. Not really what I wanted to see, but it happens. It's really awkward that I can't Terra my Rillaboom. Do both of these have Protect? The Rillaboom does not have Protect. It's Life Orb Rillaboom, but no Protect. Slitherwing also doesn't have Protect. So I can Fake Out anybody I want. What's the line here? Acrobatics into something. Not Acrobatics. Gliscor fainted. Blood Moon into something. If I get rid of their Rillaboom, that puts me in a much better spot the rest of the way. So let's Fake Out the Slitherwing and Blood Moon the Rillaboom. They're not running Assault Vest. Or do I need to fake out Rillaboom? Because it's going to be faster than Ursaluna. Did I just throw? Maybe. Definitely not really locked in yet with this team that I never played a single game with before the tournament started. We'll see what we get here. They're terrestrializing something. It's Fire, Slitherwing, and I don't remember what the Rillaboom is, but I'm about to find out. Grass. Oh, that's going to hit so hard. Okay, I should have faked it out, probably. I think I just lose if it knocks out my Ursaluna here. Oh, I'm faster. Nice. Okay, bye Rillaboom. Okay, they're running a really slow team. So then, aggressively targeting the Farigiraf early to deny Trick Room. No wonder that was super strong into them. I wonder whether they will bring the Colossal stuff in Game 2. This one's not over yet, of course. But yeah, I think Rillaboom has to have... I think just neutral, unmodified speed on Rillaboom should always be faster than my Ursaluna, so they have to be running low speed intentionally. Anyway. They already Terra'd. So I don't have to worry about that on the camera up. I protected it. Fair enough. This will give them a chance to Flare Blitz something with Slitherwing. But then I get Tauros in. If they knock something out. If Flare Blitz goes into Ursaluna, doesn't KO. Alright. I think I just win with Tauros if I get rid of this Slitherwing, right? So let's Blood Moon that. They went for the double protect. Didn't get it. That camera up just drops to the Wood Hammer. And Blood Moon should take out Slitherwing. Alright, so it's a scary team, but seeing how slow their Pokemon are, because I removed the Farigiraf turn 1, is paying off for me. So I wonder whether they'll bring the Colossal mode next game. But it's the same kind of thing, right? Tauros or Ursaluna mode. I aggressively target the Farigiraf if they lead with that. I aggressively target the Colossal if they lead with that. I think was the basic idea. Maybe Rillaboom is actually better than even Ursaluna for that. Terra Flying Farigiraf though, right? So if I saw Colossal, I could fake it out. And Wave Crash. And then like Grassy Glide if I need to. I think Rillaboom's a little bit better than Ursaluna into Colossal lead. But the question is to how likely I think it is that they make that adjustment. Because I can also Wood Hammer Farigiraf, now that I know that their Slitherwing is super slow. I'm going to try it. So it's Rillaboom Tauros this time, with Ursaluna and Gliscor in the back. Let's see. It is Tauros Colossal. Colossal does have Protect, but if they use it turn 1, then obviously they can't set up the Surf right away. Oh, Rillaboom getting intimidated isn't something I entirely thought about, but I did remember that I have the Clear Amulet on my Tauros at least. If they protect Colossal and Sunny Day, that's kind of a problem. So I think the Fake Out should go into Tauros instead of Colossal. And just Wave Crash into Colossal. They might just protect both Pokemon. If they do, then I think I'm in a tricky spot, but I think I probably just Wave Crash and Grassy Glide Colossal after that. They do have Protect on these, though. They switch Colossal out, okay. For Rillaboom, so that's not going to take a whole lot from a Wave Crash. But at least the threat's pressured out for now. It is awkward to have my -1 Rillaboom sitting on the field, but I think I better get Tauros out of here next. I can go Gliscor. I don't think I can just bring Ursaluna in right now. And any damage I can get on their Tauros is valuable. They might just switch it out. Let's see if I can Wood Hammer it. The stream is looking a little bit choppy for me. I hope it's okay. It'd be annoying if I have to restart it, but we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Oh, that is laggy. At least in OBS it is. Okay, there's a Sunny Day. -1 Wood Hammer. It does some good damage. And are you turning out? Are they getting... Oh, is this how they're getting Colossal back in? That's a problem, actually. I'm out of position to deal with that. Oh, no. Why is this Tauros Colossal mode so scary? I'm going to try Grassy Glide and Acrobatics into Tauros and hope this works out somehow. Because I'm out of position to deal with this. Terra, Fire Colossal, I'm guessing. If they're getting the Surf into that, and a lot of the team's been slow, but I think their Tauros is probably fast. If they're getting the Surf into that, that's going to hit so hard. Crit could have bailed me out there. Didn't get one. Here we go. Well, I can't be mad if I lose to this. It's a very cool attack. Flamethrower. And Gliscor, okay. What does Colossal have? Heat Wave, Power Gem, Flamethrower, Protect. I mean, Tauros does resist all its attacks. Maybe there's something to be salvaged there. How many turns of Sun left? Too many, right? 3. I would say that's too many. I'm down to just Glassy Glide this Tauros again. Maybe I can crit it this time. And throw a Wave Crash at Colossal. I mean, this is not completely over yet, but it looks pretty bad for me. It's only game 2, though. I need to pivot my Rillaboom. If we go to game 3, and we probably will, I need to not... I need to be able to have fake out pressure into Colossal after it's set up. If they position it like that again. Okay, missed the KO on Tauros. They do Heat Wave this time with a Helping Hand on top of everything else. +2, Sun boosted, Terra boosted, Helping Hand, Heat Wave. My team is just gone. I still have Ursaluna in the back, but I definitely lose this. Yeah, I can't just rely on Trick Room to beat Colossal, because it'll just knock out my Farigiraf too. So, I just need to position the Rillaboom more carefully in Game 3, is what this comes down to. Well, good adjustment by them. We'll go down swinging. But they can't even miss Flamethrower, so they'll just use that. Probably with another Helping Hand. Alright, Game 3. I think it's more or less the same Pokemon. I think Orthworm is just bad here. I got 4-0'd. I feel like Farigiraf could almost do something, but the problem is, 1, how do I get Trick Room up? And 2, do they have things in the back to punish Trick Room because the rest of their team is so slow? I feel like Farigiraf is just not quite right here. I honestly think it's probably the same 4 in the same order, but I play better. I think that's probably what this one comes down to. Or... Or what? Or I lead Ursaluna instead of Tauros, and I Blood Moon something turn 1. So I'm putting more pressure on them if they try to pivot around. Tauros Colossal almost drafted base Tauros for this exact reason. It's scary. It's either same lead again, or it's Rillaboom Ursaluna. And yeah, that way me throwing off an attack while they try to pivot around does more. No. Because that loses to double protect turn 1. I think it's just same Pokemon, same order, but I have to play better this time. If I do Rillaboom or Ursaluna, they protect around the fake out. Well, if I think they're going to double protect turn 1, I could switch Rillaboom out to my Tauros. That could work. I'm getting some extra time to think while my opponent... Let me see if they're having any issues. Seem to be taking some time here. I mean, it's a really read-heavy plan, but if I lead Rillaboom Ursaluna, and then if I see Tauros Colossal, I think they're going to protect, then I could switch Rillaboom out to my Tauros turn 1. And then I can pressure Colossal with that. That could work. It could also blow up in my face. The alternative is same lead as before. Rillaboom Tauros. And I just wave crashed their Rillaboom for not much benefit last time. I'm going to try the Rillaboom Ursaluna lead. I think it's worth a shot. I guess they did their thinking before they locked in their team. But fair enough, I got to use that time then too. I'm getting hungry. Okay, all that, and they didn't lead Tauros Colossal this time, even though it worked so well for them last game. So it's aggressively Terra the Ursaluna and try to get rid of their Giraffe again. Yeah, that also stops fake out into Ursaluna. I think I Blood Moon Farigiraf this time. Even though it's inefficient if this Woodhammer also goes through, because I can't rely on the Woodhammer also going through. And it looks like they're going back to the Trick Room mode, so if I get rid of Farigiraf, I might be pretty cozy from there. Unless they have Tauros Colossal in the back, but that feels like an awkward mode to not lead. Ghost, how does the stream look for you? It's pretty choppy for me in OBS. Oh, what's this? They're just going for big damage with their Rillaboom. Pretty choppy. Maybe I'll restart it between rounds, as much as I don't want to. That almost KOs. Yeah, okay, I was fine to just Hyper Voice once again. But I thought they might fake out my Rillaboom, but no, they're going for damage. Even so, it's a little overkill into the Farigiraf, but if they are back to the Trick Room mode, their Pokemon are so slow. I mean, you can see their Rillaboom is slower than my Ursaluna. We learned that in Game 1, so getting rid of Farigiraf is huge. The KO Ursaluna back, I still think that's probably worth it. Although I have to deal with their Rillaboom now, so I go Gliscor for sure. It just would have been nice if I'd hyper-voiced, but once again I got scared out of doing that. The KO on Farigiraf was the most important thing. Probably. Assuming they've gone back to something like what they brought in Game 1, but I guess we'll see. Maybe they have another trick up their sleeve. Gliscor has not accomplished much so far in this set, but if I can get a big Acrobatics now, that would be nice. They've used their Terra. I don't have to worry about whatever Camerupt's Terra type is. I'll check it anyway. It's fire. I don't have to worry about it. I've used my Terra, so let's just Woodhammer. Camerupt. I believe they do not have Protect on Rillaboom. I'm right. It's Life Orb Rillaboom, but they don't have Protect. They could switch still. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't run back Tauros Colossal again for Game 3. I was having a lot more trouble dealing with that. They just switched the Camerupt out, which means there's no damage coming out from them this turn. They can't switch both Pokemon because they already took a KO. Slitherwing is last. Yeah, the Acrobatics just goes into Rillaboom. Powered up by no item. They don't have Protect on the Slitherwing either. But also it's about to eat a Woodhammer. I'm really surprised they went back to this. Maybe there was some reason they didn't think Colossal would work twice in a row. I mean, Tauros in the back always wins. Honestly, at this point, but especially when I get rid of the Slitherwing, and I don't think they have any way to prevent me from doing that this turn. Camerupt can Protect. I don't think I'm even bringing Tauros in. Hey, Gliscor finally got to do some stuff. Alright, GG's to this opponent. That was actually a super scary team. If they'd brought Tauros Colossal again in Game 3, this could have turned out differently for sure. What do we got here? Sash Terrakion. with coaching. We got some coaching recipients here. Loaded Diceback Excalibur, Terra Fairy, Terra Grass, Blaze Breed Tauros with Flare Blitz and Temper Flare, as well as Close Combat. Assault Vest Rillaboom, they're also running Snarl. Snarl has not really been useful for me, but I don't think I've seen a Blood Moon Ursaluna yet until now, and this opponent has one. Chillonberry Blood Moon Ursaluna, so wins the head-to-head against opposing Blood Moon, I guess. They're also running Terra Bug. So with Chillonberry and Terra Bug, they can always take a hit pretty well from an opposing Blood Moon Ursaluna. Seems like a weird amount of commitment to that, but they're doing it, and they have Yawn. And then they have a Sandy Shocks, Booster Energy, Eerie Impulse. Wow, they really don't want to lose to opposing Blood Moon Ursaluna. This could be a super scary one. I think I can bring Orthworm to this, but I have to commit to the Terra. And they definitely have ways to beat it still, with coaching and Yawn on the Ursaluna. And Terra Bug Ursaluna means it will resist Body Press if it Terras. But I think, let me respond to my opponent. But I think Orthworm is playable here. I'm just not sure it's as turbo broken as I'd like it to be. All right. Yeah, Orthworm, I probably have to Terra Orthworm if I bring it, but I think it's workable. The coaching Tracheon is pretty scary. Orthworm Rillaboom could be interesting. Rillaboom is bad into Tauros and Excalibur, but Orthworm's pretty good into those. And I can get the grassy terrain up immediately. I think that's actually a reasonable lead. I might have to restart stream after this set. What am I afraid of? Their Ursaluna is pretty scary. Terra Bug, right? Oh, whoops. Haven't muted Sari. I just heard him start speaking. Sari jump scare. There we go. I could bring Gliscor. I don't know if Gliscor is good here, but I think it might be. And I guess I need to make sure I have enough for Excalibur. How about... They seem really determined not to lose to Blood Moon or Ursaluna. How about I leave that behind, at least for game one, and bring these two? They've brought a lot of anti-Blood Moon techs. Shiny Terrakion, okay. So, I want to go for my Iron Defense. Probably want to Terra immediately on the Orthworm. I think the Fake Out can go into Terrakion. It means Rillaboom is vulnerable to just getting knocked out by Excalibur. But it does also deny any Rock Slide Cheese. And a coaching this turn at least. I don't know if this really works, but let's try it. Maybe I could have just switched to Tauros. And maybe I could have. That's something to think about for after this game, I guess. Or for next turn, maybe, if Rillaboom gets through this one. Tauros was a pretty safe switch in, actually. Okay, but I get my Iron Defense pretty much uncontested, so that much is good. I do lose my Rillaboom in exchange, which was pretty needless. But I can pressure them with Tauros now, at least. Terra Fairy backs, Terra Ghost Terrakion. So just throwing close combats around is not the best thing. Their Sash stays broken on Terrakion. That part's good. I like that. I could... As much as I'd like to be greedy with the Iron Defense, I think I can just go for like Wave Crash and Body Press into Terrakion here. Body Press does nothing if they Terra. I'm down to try it though. Try to get rid of the Terrakion before it clicks too many... Is this the Terra on Terrakion? No, it's on backs. Okay. Trying to get rid of Terrakion before it can click coaching too much. That might work out here. I think Tauros is faster, right? I believe I'm running max speed. Okay, but I guess I'm wrong about which Pokemon is faster. They get one coaching into Excalibur. I think that's the only one they're getting, though. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely knock out Terrakion with something here. That means my Body Press goes into backs, which isn't great. but it's some kind of progress here. Scale shot. Scary. It's +1, it's boosting its speed. It does also get rid of the coasting boost into defense, but I'm already down to just 2 Pokemon now. Admittedly, I played turn 1 pretty badly, and that has something to do with it. Well, I don't know, actually. Denying a second coaching into backs might actually pay off. I don't know if it was worth my whole Rillaboom, but... Anyway. That didn't do much, but I'm only at +2. I got Gliscor here. Not for long, though. Gliscor is not going to last very long against speed-boosted Baxcalibur. They have used their Terra already, so I can body press the Ursaluna. Do they have Protect on it? They do. So I'm going to try to cover for Protect here by protecting my Pokemon. Because I'd like to be able to just hit the Ursaluna next turn. I'm really just counting on Orthworm to beat Baxcalibur. They didn't protect. Oh, that's so bad. They can just do that next turn now. Going for Yawn. Makes sense. I think I'm pressured into just attacking Ursaluna here, but they absolutely can punish it. Let's see. They don't protect. The Icicle Spear goes into Orthworm and not Gliscor, so both of my Pokemon will get to attack here. I think. I don't think Ursaluna can just knock Gliscor out. Or, Orthworm. Can just knock Orthworm out. Orthworm actually should take this reasonably. I stand corrected. What on earth? I swear I calced for something like that. It doesn't even have a damage boosting item. How does it do that much? Oh, maybe I calced it before Terra. Okay, so I lose this game for sure. Just turbo lose this one. I think I'm going to do, in game 2, Orthworm Tauros lead and not Terra the Orthworm right away. Because if I can get past Terrakion without the Terra on Orthworm, that puts me in a much better spot against these two. Guess I could have set Tailwind last turn, but this game was over anyway. Alright, so it's Orthworm Tauros lead for game 2. Do I want to change anything else? I think Rillaboom is still important, but I should just not throw it away turn 1 this time. I mean, Gliscor is still good into some other stuff. I think it's the right Pokemon, but let's try playing differently. Okay, same lead from them. Doesn't surprise me. It worked very well last game. This time I've intimidated Terrakion, and I don't think they're going to go for close combat. I'm just going to Iron Defense now. Again, if I can remove Terrakion without having to Terra Orthworm, Orthworm is a lot better positioned into the rest of their team. Not sure what that means for game 3 if we get there, but have to win this one first. They just go straight for the coaching. I mean, it should once again be able to only allow one. Because that knocks it down to its Sash, and I can Aqua Jet it next turn if they let me. Or if they knock out Tauros somehow, I can bring Rillaboom. Probably shouldn't do that. Okay, maybe they'll get a second coaching. Don't think that's the end of the world. This Excalibur's just so strong. I lose a Pokemon turn 1 every game. But I do think this was a better version of what I did last time. I can use my Terra on Rillaboom if I'm not using it on Earthworm. And that can be how Rillaboom gets through this turn, at least. Let's try this. I'm still threatening Terrakion with priority this way, so I can deny another coaching. Okay, let me do that. I forgot to Terra. I just fully forgot to Terra. I absolutely intended to Terra there. Oh, I need to eat after this round. I just 100% forgot to Terra Fire my Rillaboom. Okay, well, bye Rillaboom. I went from Body Press into Excalibur here. They didn't Terra it this time. Hopefully that creates an opening for Gliscor to do something. Not quite, huh? There's their Ursaluna, but... this time I resist Blood Moon with on my Earthworm. It's not that helpful if Earthworm ends up taking a nap, but... let's see. I could Terra Steel Gliscor, actually. That might have been more of a heads-up play, like Terra Steel and attack backs or set Tailwind. I don't know. It's a pretty bad position, in large part because I just straight up forgot to Terra my Rillaboom. They protect Ursaluna, okay. So I'll get rid of backs here. I'll finally see their fourth Pokemon, assuming it's the same one that they had in Game 1. It doesn't have to be. They might have adjusted to what they saw me actually bring. Rillaboom. Easily flustered. That's a funny mark. It can fake out Gliscor if it wants. There's nothing I can do about it. So with that in mind... let's just double into Ursaluna. I'm not protecting Earthworm because I think a fake out into Gliscor might be at least marginally more likely here. Because I just protected it. I didn't... oh, it's Terra Bug Ursaluna. I do know it's Terra type. Wait, if I get this Acrobatics then. But if they fake out Gliscor, I don't get the Acrobatics. I might still just lose to this bear. Fake out Gliscor. What is the Ursaluna going for, though? Yawn into Earthworm. Okay, I might still get a chance to Acrobatics the Ursaluna. First I get a not very effective Body Press. I'll go for another Iron Defense before Earthworm falls asleep. And yeah, try to keep this Ursaluna honest with Acrobatics. They don't protect it. I actually thought they probably would. Oh, I could have gone for the KO there. Actually... I might have been fine if I'd gone for the KO on Ursaluna there instead of Iron Defense. They get a Yawn into Gliscor here. Now they can just protect. This is still winnable. Might need some luck. They probably want to protect Ursaluna so that I can't just Acrobatics it again. So I can click my Acrobatics into Rillaboom. What does Rillaboom have? Assault Vest. I can click my Acrobatics into that. Burn a turn of Earthworm Sleep. This is still winnable. In fact, I think they need me to take some long sleeps. That knocking out Rillaboom is very good. They're down to just Ursaluna now. There goes my mandatory sleep turn on Orthworm. So it would have been better to body press Ursaluna that last turn, but I'm probably still okay. I think this is favorable. And I guess I just never Terra in this game, which is fine. Blood Moon into Gliscor. Yep, so they get rid of that. So it's a 1v1 now. I do need Orthworm to wake up. Which it won't do this turn. The Ursaluna has no more recovery. If they get max sleep turns on Orthworm, then I'm probably in some trouble. But they just used Blood Moon, so they can't use it right now. So what do they have? Earth Power? Oh, I'm fine then. Yeah, they just have to protect. So I was fine even if Orthworm didn't wake up here. I do have to knock it out now, though. +4 body press, but it's a bug type. I'm down to find out. Just a man with a worm here. And a dream. Okay, so yeah, not letting them pressure the Orthworm. Okay, I got a crit there. I'm not sure it mattered. Not letting myself be pressured to Terra the Orthworm made a huge difference in game 2. Even though I forgot to Terra Rillaboom, it still worked out. So we're going to game 3. I might know why the stream is so bad. I don't know if I can fix it right now, though. There may be something I can do between rounds, at least. Alright, here we go. I think it's just the same 4. I think it's Orthworm, Tauros, Rillaboom, Gliscor. And we'll see what happens. Tauros Ursaluna this time. Oh, I haven't seen their Tauros in action yet. What do they have? Life Orb, Protect, Terra Grass, Protect, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Temper Flare. Okay, so that's how they're trying to pressure Orthworm to Terra this time. I might just have to switch it out. But their Tauros doesn't like facing my Tauros. What if I protect Orthworm here? And Wave Crash. Oh, they have Terra Grass. Maybe I can beat it with Gliscor if I lose my Tauros here. They switch out, okay. Oh, if I just Iron Defensed, immediately I'm less scared of their Tauros. Well, I might get my chance soon. Terra Bug immediately, okay. little bit of damage. Probably a lot more coming out from Ursaluna, unless it's just Yawn, but no, it's Blood Moon into Tauros. That is super scary. Put me in a tough spot right away there. If their Tauros gets a chance to come back in. I think if I go Gliscor here, though. The Fake Out's going to go into Orthworm, right? I think I just have to try to get an Iron Defense here. That immediately makes their Tauros a lot more manageable later. I'll see if I can get away with an Acrobatics into Ursaluna. They Fake Out Gliscor, okay. Yeah, I had a feeling they might do that, but I just went for it anyway. At least they can't Blood Moon this turn, but they can do that. But I think what I want to do now, as Orthworm is going to take a nap, is just get as much defense as I can. And yeah, I'll go for an Acrobatics into Ursaluna. See what that gets me. Orthworm will have to sleep this game. I mean, there's no avoiding that now unless I switch it out, and I really don't want to. But yeah, let's get to +4 defense. That makes it pretty hard for most of their team to threaten it. Baxcalibur is coming in. So they drop the Terrakion for Tauros this game. Makes sense. They protect the Ursaluna. Okay. They're not in a great position to do damage to Orthworm right now. I mean, it will take a fair bit from Blood Moon, but because I've remained a Steel type this time, I don't think that should KO. Let's get through a turn of sleep here. Switch Ursaluna out to Tauros. It is Tauros. This is where it gets scary, right? I don't know my Fire Tauros calcs. I still would like to not Terra the Orthworm, but I don't know if I can get away with that. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna try Protect, Terra Steel Gliscor, Acrobatics Tauros. Orthworm might stay asleep here. But I think I just can't Terra it. And now I've committed to not doing that. We'll see what Tauros does into +4 Orthworm. This might be a bad Terra still, because maybe it'd be more valuable on Rillaboom in the back. They close combat Gliscor. They called it. Okay, but it doesn't KO. Thank you, Grassy Seed. +1 defense. What does Bax go for? That'll KO. No, they called the Terra. Okay, it was a bad Terra. I'm so much worse off now not being able to Terra Rillaboom. It's really bad that I can't Terra Rillaboom. Well, that's the only Pokemon I have left. Better to Fake Out the Tauros because that's the bigger threat to Orthworm. Do they have Protect? They do. I know that. Do they have Protect on Bax? They do. Okay, yeah, I'll Fake Out Tauros then. They probably will just... Oh, they switch. Okay. Who's coming in? Rillaboom. Okay. I mean, this is the best duo to see in front of Orthworm if I'm trying to burn sleep turns. So that's something. Might even get to go for +6 here. Although, they're probably just going to switch Tauros right back in, right? So, probably shouldn't do that. If Tauros is switching in, which slot do I think? I think either it's Rillaboom or they Fake Out Orthworm anyway, so Might as well hit that slot. Might as well just Woodhammer for what damage that'll do. My Rillaboom is super badly positioned. Okay, they just stay in. They're gonna get the KO on my Rillaboom, and then I need Orthworm to 1v4. And I don't know if it can do that, but honestly, I think it's not impossible. Okay, wake up. Flinch. I think I'm down to go for +6 here. This is the only realistic chance I'm getting to do it. And also, I didn't PP up any of my stuff for this tournament, so running out of body presses would also be an issue, potentially. Probably best to make them hit as hard as possible. I mean, these are not doing too much. That was a crit for sure. Yeah, okay. Not great. Well, that's the problem with bulky setup modes. That happens sometimes. I better protect for recovery. Great turn, riveting action. Unfortunately, I have to start taking KOs, and as soon as I do that, I let Tauros back in. So, like, it might actually be in my best interest to get Orthworm as healthy as I can. And just click more Iron Defense or even Terra Blast first. Another crit. Let's see what the eventual Woodhammer does here. Icicle Spear is doing 3 damage per hit without when it doesn't crit. Snarl, not Woodhammer. Okay, no, I can't just sit here and heal Orthworm. It's not working. Okay, so I need to start attacking then, and just hope that I take a hit from Tauros. I will do another Protect first to get some health back. Grassy Terrain is now gone too, so that's less recovery for me. Then I Body Press Rillaboom, because Baxcalibur is just not that threatening. Well, I say that. It gets multiple chances to crit when it uses all those multi-hit attacks, but... And also, it'd be nice if they would switch Rillaboom out and give me the terrain back, but I think they're not ever doing that. So, alright, Body Press into Rillaboom, and then I just have to be able to beat the other 2 Pokemon. I don't know if I can do it, but, you know, either it happens or it doesn't. No point dragging this out more. Keeping Baxcalibur stuck on the field is at least kind of helpful. Okay, knocked out Rillaboom. This is it. Moment of truth. I didn't get damage on Ursaluna though, did I? So Blood Moon is always a problem. I don't think I can just wipe it out with a +6 Body Press. So maybe I just lose to Ursaluna anyway. Yeah, it's at full health. That's really bad for me. They're probably going to yawn first as well, not just go straight for Blood Moon. And yet, I attack Ursaluna here because it's a more important target than Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur staying on the field for a while is actually good for me. comparatively at least. Alright, moment of truth. I keep saying that. I guess there are many moments of truth. I don't think Blood Moon will KO, but I'm not certain if they just go for it this turn. Which they do. It doesn't KO. Okay, that's huge. That's a sad body press. Okay, I definitely lose. Terra, Bug, Ursaluna. Didn't see that one coming. I didn't play this one super well either, and they played well. So, this is what happens. The Orthworm 1v4 is not happening, but the opponent definitely deserves to not be on the receiving end of that. They played well. Their crit. Doesn't matter at this point. They just Blood Moon me next turn anyway, so... Yeah, I need a body press to at least be a 2-hit KO, I guess, but, I mean, even then, the yawn here probably ends it for me. But yeah, full HP, Terra Bug, Blood Moon, Ursaluna. They were right to aggressively Terra that right away and then preserve it. GG's to them. Alright, hopefully there are not too many other matches still going after all that. They have regular Ursaluna, not Blood Moon. Super strong Pokemon with a lot of opportunity cost in this format. Oh, they have their special attacker though. It's Choice Specs Tyranitar. And they have a Throat Spray Farigiraf. Alright. So they have their Trick Room mode with Ursaluna Farigiraf. Once again, just aggressively targeting their Farigiraf might pay off for me. But also, Orthworm is super good into Ursaluna. Orthworm is good into their whole team. They have Aqua Breed Tauros. I wonder how much Orthworm takes from Specs, Tyranitar, Dark Pulse. And having wondered that, we might have to find out. The Aqua Breed Tauros is a problem, though, because it can pressure Orthworm to Terra. It can intimidate my Rillaboom. A little bit tricky. I'm going to try Orthworm stuff game 1 at least, and then I might go to more of a Blood Moon or Ursaluna focused mode game 2, depending on how this turns out. Might still want to bring Ursaluna to this game anyway, but let's see. Let's bring... What item does their Tauros have? Mystic Water. Okay, so my Intimidate Tauros beats their Intimidate Tauros. And it can also threaten Tyranitar. So I think it's a good lead with Orthworm here. And then... let's do Rillaboom. Let's do Rillaboom Gliscor for game 1. Leave the Ursaluna behind this time. Maybe I'll think differently about game 2, though, depending on what happens. Tauros, Tyranitar. Okay. Your two greatest threats into Orthworm. But I get to intimidate Tauros. I do also intimidate Tyranitar, but it's Specs Tyranitar. It doesn't care. So I can probably get Rillaboom in here pretty safely. Probably 4 Orthworm. Save the Orthworm in the back for now. And what's the Terra type on Tyranitar? Ghost. Throw a Wave Crash at it. Terra something. It's Tyranitar, okay. They don't want it to get body pressed, I guess. All the more reason to try to get rid of it then, because Orthworm can never beat a ghost type without terrestrializing itself. Okay, nice crit. So that would have done like half without the crit. Rillaboom comes in on a -1 close combat. Not the end of the world. Is Tyranitar going to follow up with Dark Pulse? It does. That did some damage with those specs. Okay, well now that they've used their Terra, I think I feel fine to close combat stuff with my Tauros. Not the Tyranitar, obviously, but... They have Aqua Jet? They do. Okay. So let's throw my Aqua Jet at Tyranitar. And I guess Grassy Glide their Tauros? I mean, they could switch around this. Oh, I don't know if my Aqua Jet does enough, actually, considering how well it took Wave Crash. Well, they switched it out anyway. It's moot here. Old Blue is Farigiraf. Oh, I just clicked 2 priority attacks. You know, I haven't had issues playing around Armor Tail until now, so I guess I forgot to do it this time. Okay, well, it's fine. They didn't do any damage this turn either. But yeah, Old Blue did stop me there. It might be worthwhile to just double Farigiraf. I'm not as afraid of Trick Room as I was with that other opponent earlier, but... I think I'm down to do that. How strong is Wave Crash? I've forgotten that move's base power. Oh, it's just as strong as Close Combat. Alright. Stronger than Close Combat. No, they're the same. I was right the first time. Close Combat into my Tauros. They're still at -1. They've never switched their Tauros out. And I've just doubled Farigiraf here. Pokemon are pretty tanky. But now I can click my priority moves again. So much for Old Blue. Wow, Tauros survived something at 1. I honestly was looking away. They're still at -1. Tyranitar comes right back in. I'm running max speed Tauros, I think, so we must be speed tying. With that in mind. I might be opening myself up to a lot of damage here, but let's see. Oh, they just protected. Okay. That's good. I just get rid of their Tyranitar then. That crit earlier pays off. I got Iron Defense on my Orthworm. I don't know why I emphasize my. I have the only Orthworm here. Okay, get Tyranitar, Gliscor, get my Grassy Seed too, which is nice. Kodiak is there. Ursaluna makes sense. Kind of bear. What's their item on it? Is it Flame Orb? It is, okay. In that case, I don't feel massively pressured to remove it right now. I'm down to just double into Tauros, actually. If they knock out Gliscor first, then... Yeah, because Ursaluna wants to do that to get its burn. If they knock out Gliscor first, they still get body pressed into, I think, like -2 defense. Like, they use a couple of close combats, right? They just do that instead. Doesn't accomplish much. So hey, I could have grabbed a greedy second Iron Defense there, but it's fine. Ursaluna has Facade, Earthquake, Headlong Rush, Protect. I mean, it can never do any damage to Earthworm if I Terra Ghost. There's not really any need here, but I suppose I might as well. Alright, so that worked. It was a little bit awkward, but I think that crit does not matter. Earthworm guaranteed wins this anyway. I think I'm down to just run back a mode like this again in game 2. Not worry about my Ursaluna yet. Yeah, intimidating their Tauros turn 1 was very good. The crit into their Tyranitar definitely was some good luck for me, but I don't know that it was even necessary. I think I'm just going to run back the exact same 4. And we'll see if they have an adjustment for it. If I stream another of these tournaments, I should get a second monitor. That I think might be the time. I don't know where I'd put it though. There's not really space on my desk, but I could figure something out, I'm sure. Don't for a graph. No, I think this is fine. Farigiraf would give me another threat into their Tauros, but Rillaboom's already a pretty good one if I just play it right. Old Blue in the lead this time with Kodiak Ursaluna. So, given that I haven't led to just delete Farigiraf turn 1, I think an Iron Defense turn 1 is pretty free though. What's this Terra type? I think it's flying again. Yeah. I'll get what damage I can on it. Ursaluna surely protects this turn. I'll probably want to Terra Ghost the Earthworm so that it just walls Ursaluna. The problem, of course, with that is dealing with Specs Tyranitar. They have that in the back, but I have other things that can beat that. That was good damage, actually. Trick Room, okay. Let's Body Press for a Graph and protect Tauros. Maybe I should have Terra'd Earthworm. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of the Specs Tyranitar that I think is probably in the back. Oh, what's this? Ghost. Figures. Well, now I can't damage it either unless I Terra. And it can damage me with Facade unless I Terra. You know what I mean. Psychic into Tauros. Do nothing, of course. There goes the Giraffe. But then what do they have next? If it's Tyranitar, the good thing is it can't Terra this time. I have to think about how to manage my other Pokemon, though. But yeah, Tyranitar would just fold to a Body Press. Assuming I get one off. Okay, Tauros. So it'd be a good idea for me to be able to intimidate that again. I think the best thing for me to do... I'm probably fine to Terra the Earthworm, right? But I also can protect Earthworm this turn. And I think Gliscor is the best Pokemon for me to sack right now. Rillaboom could be valuable later, and I'd like to be able to intimidate their Tauros. There's the Tyranitar, okay. Okay, so I don't Terra the Earthworm, that means I'm not weak to Dark Pulse. I can Body Press Tyranitar next turn. They can switch Ursaluna back in, but if they do, they're wasting the only Trick Room turns they get, because I've already knocked out the Farigiraf. Gliscor's on my other side because it's just the most expendable Pokemon right now. While I get through these Trick Room turns, they went for Protect. It failed because Protect always fails when it's the last action of the turn. Now, Body Press Tyranitar and Protect Gliscor. And yeah, if they switched to Ursaluna, which they didn't do, but if they had switched Tyranitar back up for Ursaluna, that was just so passive, it was still fine for me. But instead I just get to one-shot Tyranitar. I don't know if that crit mattered. It's +2 fighting type damage. Maybe it mattered. They Wave Crash into Gliscor. Now they're down to just Tauros and Ursaluna, right? Yeah. I've knocked out Farigiraf and Tyranitar. They DC'd? I assume that's what just happened. We're gonna have to call a judge. Let me message them. Okay. It was an unintended DC, but they're forfeiting because they didn't have an answer to Earthworm. I think that's fair. I think that one was pretty well wrapped up. Unfortunate DC. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Anyway, that was a pretty quick match. Yep, most are still going. I think we were just the third to finish. Oh, and my food just arrived. Perfect timing. My opponent's screen name is Joe Mama. Is that actually what's going to show up when we connect? Blood Moon Ursaluna, Baxcalibur, combined Blood Moon Ursaluna with leftovers. Interesting. Really scary, actually. Gonna need to throw my Rillaboom and Tauros at that, I think. It's Terra Ghost. Baxcalibur, Slitherwing with Will-O-Wisp. This might not be an Earthworm matchup, but then they have Baxcalibur and Rillaboom, which are so good for Earthworm. And then they have Rillaboom, the Saltfest, they have Aqua Breed Tauros, and they have Farigiraf. No stream snipers, I hope. I only want to see Joe Mama pop up using this code. There we go. Perfect. All right. So their Ursaluna is a threat. I don't want to let it set up. And their Will-O-Wisp Slitherwing is a problem for my Earthworm. So, they don't have Tailwind, but they do have Trick Room. But like I could throw my Ursaluna at them. I don't know if that's that convincing, actually. They don't have a clear amulet on anything, so Tauros is really good here. Because it offensively pressures their Ursaluna and it intimidates a lot of their other stuff. I could do Tauros Ursaluna, maybe. I think my Ursaluna is probably going to be faster than most in this field. Oh, I didn't mute Sari. I just heard him say, "We're back." Not about to time out, am I? Okay. Tauros Ursaluna, I'll bring Earthworm in the back. I hope I can get a favorable late game position with it, and then I should probably bring Rillaboom. Because I have to answer... I need good answers to their Ursaluna. But I don't know, this is a weird one. We'll see what happens. Alright. Monkey haunts and bear haunts. Makes sense. Pretty scary. Especially because they can use the fake out pressure to grab a calm mind here. Yeah, I think I like this. Just switch out to Rillaboom and protect my Ursaluna. Fake out pressure makes it hard for me to threaten them immediately anyway. Is that going to be the Terra Ghost on their Ursaluna? Turning off its weakness into Rillaboom and Tauros. Tauros being the one that was immediately in front of it, of course. There might have been something. The alternative was Terra my Tauros and just attack. That might have been better, but I didn't love committing the Terra there. I didn't notice they had drum beating. That's really important to know, actually. Should have picked up on that from the team sheet. They have U-turn? No. Fake out, drum beating, grass glide, knockoff. Oh, knockoff could be a problem. Well. I'll commit my Terra now, I guess. Might be bad to not have it for Tauros later. Well, let's see. This lead actually just puts a ton of pressure into me. This, I guess, is where Covert Cloak Gliscor would be useful, because I could lead that and set Tailwind without having to worry about Fake Out. I get crit by the drum beating. More importantly, I get speed dropped. But my Woodhammer comes out next. They're not weak to it anymore, but they still take a lot. I think that was a bad... Yeah, I just lose my... That was a bad Terra. I needed to save it for Tauros. Okay, but they just use Blood Moon, so they can't next turn. But my Earthworm can never damage their Ursaluna now that it's a Ghost type. But... if I can keep them in check with the threat of Woodhammer, I can at least try to set up for Earthworm to beat the rest of their team. Depending on what they have in the back, the Slitherwing would be a problem, obviously. They have a free Protect and get out of Woodhammer range here, I think. But if they protect, they protect. What am I going to do about it? They do. And they knock off my Earthworm. Yeah, I've just not played this one right at all. So I'll have to think about how to beat this in game 2. This is where Covert Cloak Gliscor would come in handy. Could have listened to the crowd on that one. It has been nice to not miss dual wing beats, though. I think their higher priority is to target my Rillaboom. So I'm just going to go for another Iron Defense. The hope is that I can beat their Ursaluna somehow, and then Earthworm can beat the rest of their team. It's not a great hope, but it's what I've got right now. I get a Blood Moon into Rillaboom. It's +1, it KOs. What do I need, like a crazy Wave Crash crit to have any chance here? think I'm at the awkward part here where the food has made me a little bit sleepier instead of more locked in, but hopefully that'll turn around. Guessing they protect Ursaluna here. If there's any way to win, it's a crit into Ursaluna. I don't even know if that does it, but that's all I have left. Yeah, Calm Mind Ursaluna definitely looking like a menace. There's something I didn't explore in the very limited time that I took to prepare for this. Okay, crit would not have done it. Kind of didn't think so at that range. Alright, SGG. I never beat this Ursaluna now, so we forfeit and go to game 2. I could drag this out and take some extra time to think, but there's no need. Absolutely folded against that Calm Mind Ursaluna. Okay. So, like, threatening big physical damage into it is good. Maybe I need to bring Farigiraf, because I can stop Fake Out with that. And just like Rillaboom for Farigiraf lead. Actually looks pretty strong, yeah. I think I'm going to leave the worm behind for this one. And just hope that my damage Pokemon can win this. Gliscor would be nice here. Tailwind would be pretty good. I just don't think I have room to bring it. Actually, I'm not that sold on my Ursaluna here. I'm going to do Rillaboom, Gliscor, Farigiraf, Tauros. And then I could switch one of them out for Farigiraf if my opponent leads Rillaboom again. Yeah, same lead again. Well, let's just Wood Hammer and switch to Farigiraf. Attacking with both is also an option, but Rillaboom threatens so much more damage than Gliscor. Best not to let them fake Rillaboom out, I think. They just switched their Rillaboom out. What does Ursaluna do? Protect? Long Haunts? We made the same play. Sort of. There's their Terra. So they're not protecting then, so I will get this Wood Hammer. Blood Moon into Farigiraf. And it crits. That's awkward because if they set Trick Room now, what do I do about it? I think it's time for my usual anti-Farigiraf measure. Just hit it with my strongest attacks to try to prevent it from ever setting Trick Room. What is his Terra type? They've already Terra'd, it doesn't matter, but for future reference it's Fairy. Is it Acrobatics or is it Wave Crash? Wave Crash is stronger. I might prefer the positioning of having Gliscor on the field after. I think this probably does enough. Just double Farigiraf. They can't Blood Moon this turn. They could do something tricky, but not that. Switch Ursaluna out for Rillaboom. Is it Protect the Giraffe? I don't know if they have Protect on it. They do. Protect the Giraffe and get Trick Room next turn? That's hard to deal with. Well, let's see. I'll go for an Acrobatics into Rillaboom, because I think they're going to fake out my Rillaboom. This just accomplishes more if I'm right. At least for this turn. What do they have on Farigiraf? I'm wrong, they fake out Gliscor. Throat Spray. Okay, typical Throat Spray stuff. That doesn't KO. Not surprising, really. There's their Trick Room. Can I at least make it hard for them to get the Ursaluna safely back in? I don't know. I think I can Snarl. I don't know if I'm getting through these Trick Room turns. Guess I would have been better off just going for 2 KOs there. That was silly of me. I'm just making silly plays now. The bear's back. The bear haunts. I think I want to sack my Tauros to the Blood Moon that I think is going into Rillaboom, because Rillaboom's the biggest threat I have, and hope that I can get rid of Farigiraf so I can click priority into their Ursaluna after that. But I think this is probably an L. I mean, pretty clearly it's probably an L. I just did not find good answers to their Ursaluna. The Calm Mind. Orthworm's always kind of shaky into Blood Moon Ursaluna because Blood Moon just hits that hard. But the Calm Mind, making it able to hit even harder, really puts it over the top. Calm Mind Blood Moon Ursaluna was not on my radar at all in all the practice I didn't do. They protected it. Okay. It changes things a bit. Psychic into Tauros. Doesn't change things that much then. Bye, Tauros. I was really hoping there that Tauros had gotten through this turn, but nope. Gets so much recovery too. I mean, it's the same kind of thing I was trying to set up with Orthworm, but yeah, I guess Blood Moon or Ursaluna might have been the real bulky setup all along. Now I get the terrain back too. It also powers up my Wood Hammer, but that's if I get to use another Wood Hammer. I mean, their Tauros is probably fast, right? So that's something at least. What does it have? Huh. Nothing too crazy. Ursaluna is probably free to take a KO here, but I guess I just go for it. Because I don't have Protect on Rillaboom. And I can't fake out Ursaluna anyway. And then I think I just lose to Tauros. They probably take a KO with Blood Moon first. Survive that. But then there's the Blood Moon. We don't survive that. Okay. Well, GG's to this opponent. Super scary team. I didn't have good answers. 3 and 2, I think, means top cut is out of reach. Probably is only one loss to have a chance at cut. I guess we'll see. I'm definitely playing it out, but yeah, I just hope I don't run into another team like this one because I did not have good answers. Well, they played it super well too. Like, the Farigiraf could have helped me a lot, but they did well getting rid of that immediately in this game. So GG's, well played by them. I lost to Joe Mama, unfortunate. I mean, I still have 2 rounds to play. You guys haven't seen much from my run. I think the verdict on Orthworm is it's not Omega Turbo broken like I thought it would be. But it does just absolutely shut down some matchups. Then I get into some trouble in the matchups where it's not good, but it looks incredible sometimes. It's just not the most broken Pokemon I've ever seen in a format, which is kind of what I was hoping for. You think Orthworm is washed? I mean, Chestnut probably is better. I can accept that, but yeah, it does win some stuff by itself. Yeah, it did occur to me after I'd built an Orthworm team that Chestnut is probably better, but I just still wanted to use Orthworm. But when I first looked at the legal Pokemon graphic, one of my very first thoughts was Orthworm looks like the most broken thing in the world here. And that is not borne out, but it is decent. Rillaboom, Baxcalibur, Blazebreed Tauros, Okidogi. Finally get an Okidogi. This one with a Grassy Seed and Taunt. That's potentially bad news for my Orthworm. And then they have Poliwrath. And they also have Taunt on that. They really don't want people setting things up against them. Swift Swim Poliwrath. Oh, and they do have a Rain Dance setter. It's Zipstrika. Air Balloon Zipstrika. Lightning Rod to protect the Poliwrath, I guess. Rain Dance. Low Kick, Electro Web, and Protect. Oh, they're here. This feels like an Earthworm game almost, except one, I have to Terra, and two, they have two different taunts. But if it's not an Earthworm game, what do I do? How do I beat Zipstrika Poliwrath? Genuinely, I don't know. I can do Rillaboom Earthworm lead, probably fake out. They probably don't lead both taunt users. Oh, it's Covert Cloak Poliwrath. I actually can't fake it out, but it's also Terra Water, so I can just like Woodhammer it. So Rillaboom lead scares that off. Terra Ghost Okie Dokie. I actually can't reliably fake that out either. I still think Rillaboom Earthworm might be a lead worth trying. There's also like a Gliscor Ursaluna option because they don't have Tailwind. Or Farigiraf Ursaluna for Trick Room. But they have two taunts, so maybe not Trick Room. Oh, they gave me a code. Earthworm, Rillaboom, Gliscor, or Ursaluna, maybe? Or do I want to be able to intimidate them with my Tauros? Maybe so. They don't have any clear amulet. I could save Gliscor, Ursaluna stuff for game 2. And I could do Earthworm, Rillaboom, Tauros. Maybe still Gliscor. That's reasonable. It's pretty scary. Gliscor is very bad into some of their team, but also very good into some of it. I feel like Ursaluna without speed control is probably not the play here. But maybe it is, just because it commands so much attention. But like all of their Pokemon, except Zipstrika has low kick. Maybe just all of their Pokemon are massively threatening into it, unless they get it going in Tailwind. So I think I'm thinking Earthworm, Rillaboom, Tauros, Gliscor. Alright, so this is what I decided on for game 1. Let's see how it goes. Trojan Horse and Fat Horse. Great nicknames. Got a bit of a problem for my Rillaboom lead. I would say it's worth it to just fake out the Okie Dokie anyway, but they can just Terra Ghost. That would be very committal of them, though. I'll try it. It's game 1. Let's see. They Terra. Okay, yeah. That was a silly play. What if I just Woodhammered Okie Dokie? Probably just losing my Rillaboom to their backs anyway. Yeah. I don't have Guard Dog, so I don't know if I'm beating this Okie Dokie. Do they have Guard Dog? Surely, yes. Yeah, they do. Okay, I just did not do the right stuff here in game 1. Well, Terra Steel Gliscor can buy me some time here. It does mean that Orthworm being unable to Terra can never do anything to Okie Dokie. But it is what it is. I put myself way behind with that turn 1. If I can get rid of Okie Dokie, I might still be able to win the game with Orthworm. And the Terra Steel can also bait out close combat into Gliscor, which lowers Okie Dokie's defenses. It's taking that hit really well otherwise. The close combat Orthworm, so I can't win the game with that because it's gone. Alright, a really rough game 1. I was thinking about Tailwind just now, but I need to get rid of this Okie Dokie if I can. Of course, Scylla is Rillaboom. Like I said, Tailwind. I think it's okay though. They don't have Zebstrika and Poliwrath in the back. They have at most one of those. Okay, and now what? Let's see what they do. For another close combat into Gliscor. I mean, there's nothing I can do here but just keep attacking. I switched the Rillaboom out. They're just protecting Okie Dokie again. Dark Horse. They're Tauros. They intimidate my Tauros with that. No, they don't, because I have a clear amulet. I forgot. They don't get to intimidate anything. And they didn't protect Okie Dokie this time. That's not great damage, though. Yikes. It takes both of those hits. Knocks out my Gliscor. All I have left is Tauros, so that's GG for game 1. I'll try the Ursaluna in game 2, I think. Oh, I don't know why I didn't protect there. That doesn't really make much difference at this point, though. Okay. Game 2. I forgot to say good luck, have fun to this opponent. Maybe I was getting punished just now. So the Okie Dogie just absolutely wrecked me there. Let's try this. I'll try this. Fat horse and Trojan horse again. Actually, I have a problem here, which is I want to Terra both my Pokemon. I can't do that. I think the Ursaluna is more important to Terra. Go for Blood Moon into Bax. Do they have Ice Shard? Doesn't matter. Icicle Spear will wreck me. I'll go for Tailwind. They probably will deny it. But there's nobody I want to switch in on that attack. This is where Tauros would be useful, I guess. Something would activate Guard Dog, except it wouldn't because they just switched. If they're protecting the backs this turn, then I get my Tailwind. And that Rillaboom switch makes me think maybe they are. Or maybe they're just covering for like Earth Power into Fat Horse. Okay, just Scale Shot. I mean, Gliscor should take that. So I'm glad it's not an Ice type attack. Maybe they guessed wrong on where my Terra was going. Don't think I'd get away with that a second time, though. If we get to a game 3. There's my Tailwind. There's my Blood Moon. That just one-shots that. Okay. They can fake out Gliscor now if they want. Not Ursaluna because it's Ghost type. But who's coming in first? Tauros. What does this have? Life Orb, Protect, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Raging Bull, Terra Ghost. Oh, and the Rillaboom does a fake out, unsurprisingly. Okay. I think I feel okay to just Hyper Voice and target an Acrobatics into the Tauros. Try to use the Tailwind turns while I have them. Rillaboom can fake out Gliscor, but I'm not certain that they will. They might want to play more aggressively than that. I Terra Water here. Yeah, no fake out. So that knocks out Tauros. I'll get a single target Hyper Voice into Rillaboom. Oh yeah, Berry. I did see that in their team sheet, and then I forgot. And I never said it out loud until now, but they do have that. They would hammer him a bear. Doesn't KO, but... I mean, they can just Grassy Glide now, right? Not necessarily, actually. They can't just Grassy Glide if I switch to my Farigiraf. Do they have Protect on Rillaboom? They don't. I think... Switch to Farigiraf and Hyper Voice is pretty free here. What do I do in game 3, though? Because I'm not sure this works a second time. Because they could just Ice Attack the Gliscor and deny. Tailwind. Unless I tear the Gliscor next time instead of the Ursaluna, but that's scary. I don't know if I want to do that. But it's an idea. They also could just double Gliscor with Close Combat and Ice move, and then it's pinned. If they decide it's really important to remove. Anyway, this game should be won, though. What if I go back to Orthworm for game 3? Can I do that? I don't know if I can. Okay. Well, game 3 is happening. It was Gliscor. So I led Gliscor Ursaluna this time. There's nothing crazy that they have to do to beat that. They could just target differently, honestly. And that gives them a leg up already. I don't think I trust the Orthworm here. I think they have too many ways to shut it down. I think I'm going to bring the same 4 as last game. I'm afraid of what their adjustment might be. It's just a question of, do I have a better idea in the next 50 seconds? If they go, say, if they go Zebstrika Poliwrath this time, I actually can just lose to that. It's not that easy for them. I'm just going to do this. I have Rillaboom in the back. That can cause some chaos for Zebstrika and Poliwrath, but it is an awkward lead for me. It is this lead. I had a feeling, but I couldn't commit to being sure of it. This is gonna be interesting to try to deal with. What do I even do? I want to be aggressive. Hit the Seahorse. Waterfall's scary. But I think it's hit the Seahorse and switch to Rillaboom. I remember Totero, right? Gotta get a second monitor for the next one of these, so I'm not going back and forth between OBS and their team sheet in the same screen. Okay. What is this gonna be? Water. That waterfall's gonna hit even harder. Oh boy. And in rain. I might have messed up. Okay, it doesn't KO. It could flinch. It flinched. No! That's so bad. Nightmare, 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 nightmare. Okay, well, the good news is Rillaboom is massively threatening Poliwrath. And Zebstrika is not super well positioned here. Can I do this? I switch Zebstrika out. Trojan Horse. It's Bax. What's the Poliwrath do? It just goes for another waterfall. Good. Okay, I get the Wood Hammer into it here. What a menace. But it should be gone now. How do I beat Baxcalibur? Oh, I might just lose to Baxcalibur now. The Poliwrath might have done enough to set up the Baxcalibur win. If I can get Tailwind somehow, then I'm in good shape. But that's going to be hard to do. I think what I need is Rillaboom and Gliscor on the field together with Fake Out Pressure. I think if there's an Ice attack coming out, it's into Rillaboom. Therefore, I think that's the Pokemon that I switch out for Rigorath. There might be a better way to maneuver this, but I think just switching these two in this order might actually work. Then I have to get Rillaboom back in, but it's a start. The Poliwrath put out so much pressure that even though I got rid of it without taking a KO, now the Baxcalibur puts out a ton of pressure. But that's what I'm playing toward here. Getting Rillaboom back on the field so I can take out Tailwind. I guessed wrong. They Icicle Speared that slot. That's probably GG. They got me good with that. It might not be over just yet. But it probably is. But it might not be. Wait, it might not be. Oh no, they still have Rillaboom's move. Okay, the way back into this was to set Trick Room, and that's not going to happen, so that's over. Unless I need them to throw. There's still a way they can throw this. And it's Baxcalibur attacking Rillaboom here. But that's what I need to happen at this point, or it's just over. The Chillonberry. Wow, that doesn't stop the flinch. No, they knew. Well, they're making the right plays. I don't think the waterfall flinch even mattered that much, because the problem was once I beat Poliwrath, I just was stuck against Baxcalibur. Yeah, go ahead, Sari. But this one's basically done too. W crab? What are you calling a crab? Poliwrath? Oh no, the one in chat, I see. So what did I have for Poliwrath and Zebstrika? Not much, honestly. Alright, well, GG's. 3-3. One more round. Try to end on a win. It's been a fun tournament, and for not practicing, can't really complain. Although I tend not to practice for these weird custom format Wolf tournaments because part of me kind of wants to try to win them in the builder. Didn't happen this time, of course. Alright, GG's. Yeah, so recap of that one, I led Orthworm Rillaboom and got blown up by their Okie Dokie stuff. Then I beat them with Blood Moon Ursaluna lead in game 2, and then then they brought the Poliwrath Substrika, and actually I should have gone back to Orthworm. Oh well. Orthworm Rillaboom. Specifically, I think is my best answer to that duo with Baxcalibur in the back. Because I beat the Poliwrath without too much trouble, but then I just didn't have answers to the Baxcalibur after that. Rillaboom, Baxcalibur, Sandy Shocks with Flying Terrablast, huh? Aqua Breed Tauros, Farigiraf, Blood Moon Ursaluna. No, my nightmare. Calm Mind, Blood Moon Ursaluna. The mon that I could not handle before. This one's Terra Bug though, so at least I can click Acrobatics into it. But I don't know that that's much easier than the Terra Ghost one. The matchup I did not want to see again. Calm Mind Ursaluna. Assault Vest, Terra Steel Rillaboom. I mean, Orthworm might go crazy here if I can manage the Ursaluna somehow. Terra Bug Ursaluna, though. I'd like to just throw Rillaboom and Gliscor at it, but then those kind of lose to their Baxcalibur. But if I bring Orthworm and Tauros in the back, I can bring those in on Baxcalibur. So this is the idea. What does it lose to? Not a lot, actually. I think I'll try it. Combined Ursaluna is so scary. We'll see if my team has a way to beat it. There it is. Oh, not bringing my Giraffe means I can't bring in Armortail, but I just need to throw damage at this bear anyway, don't I? I'm gonna click Snarl, because I don't think I'm getting both attacks off this turn anyway. I don't want a Tailwind. What does that do for me? Not a lot, actually. There's an immediate Terra. What is it? Are they just going to try to take out Gliscor with Blood Moon, in which case I'll be sad that I didn't click Protect? Probably. They U-turn my Rillaboom. There's no Fake Out. Wait, so I do just get the Acrobatics then? Into Ursaluna. No Fake Out, no Protect. I did not click a priority move. I see what they're trying here, but I mean, I don't think I'm about to just knock this bear out, but getting a lot of damage into it? Oh, never mind. I am about to just knock it out. That just one-shots. Okay. That was a crit. I will take it. Calm Mind Ursaluna is so scary. And then Woodhammer goes into the Giraffe, I guess. Oh no, I clicked Snarl. I forgot. That's still good. Alright, I've gotten exactly what I wanted out of this lead so far, but what's next? What do they have on the giraffe? It's imprisoned Trick Room stuff. Grassy Seed, which I guess we saw activate already. Terra Steel. Okay, so this will intimidate my Rillaboom, which isn't great. But let's see. I think I'm pretty well positioned to win this game with Orthworm. Just a matter of getting it safely onto the field. They tried to wave crash with Gliscor, it goes into Tauros instead. And there Tauros is intimidated. Then I get the Wood Hammer, it is -1, but it's also in terrain and it just KOs. And Farigiraf goes for Trick Room. Okay. I think that's fine. I think I just let them knock something out and get Orthworm in. And that probably does it. The last Pokemon's Rillaboom, right? What do they have on Rillaboom? Fake Out, Wood Hammer, Grassy Glide, U-turn? Yeah, that's not a good Orthworm answer. The Giraffe... Right, no Throat Spray. We know it's Grassy Seed. Definitely is Armor Tail, right? Not Sap Sipper. Okay. I never have to Terra Orthworm here. I could just Terra Tauros. Okay, let's do it. Okay, yeah, getting rid of the Ursaluna turn 1 was huge. I don't know if they'll let me do that again, though. -1 Wood Hammer into +1 defense. It didn't do that much. But again, I'm just letting something go down to get Orthworm in at this point. It's going to be Tauros. They pinned it with Psychic and U-turn. Fair enough. That's fine, I think. Then just click Snarl with Rillaboom while it's still here. Grab 1 Iron Defense, then I can probably just Body Press for a Giraffe. I missed the Giraffe. Oh well. They're doubling Orthworm, but they're not doing very much damage. Your Farigiraf is slower than my Orthworm. So I could just set up until Trick Room is over, but that might be now. I don't know, I haven't been counting. But no, I think it's fine to just start... Nah, let's just do that. They forfeit. Okay. Alright, that went pretty smoothly. I don't know if that happens again, though. I think they might want to try a different mode. So I might want to try leading the Orthworm this time. Communication ended due to error. Are we back? Are we still here at all? Looks like we're still communicating. I kind of want to try, now that I'm up a game, leading the Orthworm this time. It gets scary in a hurry if they lead Ursaluna, but if I can pressure out the Terra on that and I have the Snarl Rillaboom, I'm probably okay, I think. So, same Pokemon, different order. Let's see. I'm wrong. They lead Ursaluna. Uh-oh. Okay, but with the backs here, I think I don't mind actually clicking the Terra Fire on Rillaboom this time, not forgetting to do it. I'd love to Woodhammer the Ursaluna, but they probably Terra again. I'll just go for Snarl. I can keep that in check while I maybe get Gliscor in. Or if they don't Terra, then I think about Woodhammer next turn. I'm gonna miss the Terrestrial mechanic in Champions, I'll say that. It'll be fine though without it. It'll be interesting. They do Terra Bug immediately once again. Icicle Spear and a Rillaboom. Snarl. Earth Power into Rillaboom, so they called the Terra. They still missed the KO after Snarl. I might actually have preferred that they get the KO there. I don't know. I think it's okay either way. Let's try to get some chip on Ursaluna. I'll go for a Body Press into backs too, because I would like to get rid of that before I have to bring Gliscor in. That's not very much chip. Maybe I should have just Snarled again. Calm Mind. Okay. I don't have any special attackers in this game anyway, but they are now at neutral special attack stat, not -1 anymore. I do knock out the backs, though. I bring in Gliscor now for sure. Yeah, I should have just Snarled again. Oh well. These are Tauros. And I think it's just going to be Body Press Tauros. Was that a... Oh, it was a Mirror Herb. Cool. Okay, well the Body Press is not going to be as good as I'd like, but I need damage into it. Acrobatics Ursaluna. They're faster. Gliscor takes the hit, though. Thank you, Grassy Seed. That's what I was counting on there. Acrobatics doesn't crit this time, unfortunately. They're still setting up the Calm Mind, though. How much is this Body Press going to do to Tauros? Is a key question here. Not very much. That's not good damage. I think it's okay. I think I could still win with my Tauros. I hope that's true. Protect Gliscor here. If I crit their Tauros with this next Body Press, that simplifies things a lot, but... yeah, we'll see. Blood Moon into Earthworm. Should take it. It's +1, but still... I mean, that does a lot of damage. We do take it. Okay, they can't Blood Moon on this next turn. So it's iffy, but I think I'll actually switch my Tauros in instead of leaving Gliscor to faint. They can't Blood Moon. Let's keep up the pressure on their Tauros. And intimidate it here too. I don't think they. Yeah, well, I know they don't have. I know they don't have a clear amulet on it because I saw the mirror herb. It's also on their team sheet, but I haven't looked at that in a little bit. I hope this body press KOs. Close combat. Okay, they get rid of their own defense boost, so that should be a KO with the body press. By Tauros. So it's Ursaluna and something else. Ursaluna is getting so much recovery. It's so scary in this terrain. They just protected it, though. So even if they have Farigiraf in the back looking to set up Trick Room... Oh, I might just lose to that. Let's see. It's Rillaboom, okay. Oh, that's rough too, because they can Fake Out. Or they can Grassy Glide my Tauros. I don't know if I have enough damage into Ursaluna. Well, let's see. I think the Fake Out's going into Orthworm. I'm hoping they'll try to remove Orthworm here, specifically, because it is a thorn in their side. Nope, the Fake Out goes into Tauros. Blood Moon into Orthworm, please. Calm Mind, no! Orthworm's in so much danger now. I might just lose to Rillaboom at this point. Well, let's see. The body press. The body press into Ursaluna wouldn't do that much anyway, I guess. But I guess I have to go for it here. I just need whatever damage I can get into this thing. That's good damage. That probably puts it in acrobatics range. They'll take out Tauros. Did they Blood Moon Orthworm now? Yes, and I think that KOs. It sure does. Okay, I probably lose this. But I still can win. I 100% call the Protect on Ursaluna and Acrobatics Rillaboom here. Okay. Now, it could protect around their Blood Moon, but the way they've been playing, I think there's a good chance that they protect here. So I'm just going to go for Acrobatics. I think I win if it crits. Otherwise, it's a mind game. Well, if they Blood Moon, then I lose. Unless I crit. That's the real thing. Wait, I didn't even need the crit? Wait, what was that roll? Okay, well, winning that without even a crit, I will take that absolute clutch performance by Gliscor. Oh, Orthworm was the face of the team, but Gliscor was the hero in the end, and we have pulled it out and gone over 500 at least. So we definitely take those. 4-3, not the best record, but I didn't exactly put as much prep into this as some people did, so I will take a positive record for sure. And we beat a Calm Mind Ursaluna, the nemesis, in the end. Fun tournament. I like these weird offbeat formats that people host sometimes in Wolf's Discord and elsewhere. There's the hero. Grassy Seed Gliscor, let's go. Imagine if I'd missed a dual wing beat on that last turn. There was one specific matchup where the more popular Covert Cloak knockoff Gliscor would have been a lot better, but yeah, Grassy Seed was not bad. I don't know for sure if I would change it in a redo. Maybe I would. But it paid off at some points here at least. That's my tournament. 4 and 3. We take those. Had a lot of fun. Used and fought some very good horses along the way. Goodbye.